Well, guys, I'm gonna make another video on the old 68 wagon. I've had it posted for sale for a while, and it's been one of those things where I think the economy and everything that's going on in the world right now is people aren't buying stuff, but hey, I still am. So anybody's got any old cars out there for sale, let me know. But case in fact, or case in point on this car, a lot of people say, well, could I drive it home? Well, it is a 68 and it has been sitting since 1991 and it's never been restored, so it's problematic. Yeah, and you're probably not going to be able to drive it home, but it does run good. Needed brakes, so I was going to put a disc brake conversion kit on it, and I never did because I'd already bought tires for the original wheels, so they were 14s and they won't fit. So now, as you can see, there's no brake lines or hoses going to the wheel cylinders or anything, because there lied the problem. That whole hose right there is just completely just full of crud and has basically squeezed in on itself, and you can't blow or anything through that thing. So, and these old cars are notorious, or any old car with rubber and brake fluid, it's just going to collapse on itself, and it basically makes a check valve or a one-way check, so you can press the pedal and all that fluid goes through that hose, but it will not return because it doesn't have the pressure to push it back to the master cylinder. So then you have locked up brakes, or in this case, I couldn't even push brake fluid through that hose. I actually took the hose off the wheel cylinder and tried to mash it through the metal line, through the rubber line, and I couldn't even get it to go through. So the brakes on the car, I mean, they're old, as you can tell, drum, but the shoes don't look terrible. I mean, you can see some point in time that they had put a new spring kit in it and stuff like that for all the springs on it. This side I didn't take down as far because I just went in there and adjusted the drums where they would touch. But as you can tell, once I took that line off, brake fluid went everywhere. But same thing over here. This is one piece of the line and it was just rotten. It was just easier for me to cut the hose on this end and then put a 5/8 socket on it instead of trying to get it off with a wrench, because it's pretty daggum tight in there where that goes. Yeah, I need to take that brass fitting out with that little crush washer before putting the new line on. And O'Reilly's, little shout out to O'Reilly's, because they're the only ones that could get this today for me in this our small little town. But I just cut really just cut one side off, because when I went to take that loose, this thing just broke completely off from here. And but yeah, that's what you get when it's 68, you know, 1968 model. And the hosers might very well be the original ones. I don't know that. I can't speak for that, but I know the back's the same way. I ordered one of those as well. You can see that puddle right there on the trailer, where it is leaking right above the differential. Does have the factory 12 bolt in it. Dual exhaust. That one side's rusted off. But the reason, or two reasons why I'm doing this, I think the car would sell better running and driving and stopping. Even though I would not recommend somebody driving this car, 700-800 miles home if somebody buys it far off. If you're an hour and a half away, that's fine. It's still a 68 model car that has never been restored, and there's a lot of things that could go wrong with cooling issues, water pumps, and yes, it is a big block Chevrolet, and you can find parts for them, but it is just that old a car where your part store is probably not going to have the water pump you need or the radiator you need. And so now you're retrofitting shit on the side of the road, and all these guys got YouTube channels and doing car rescues and going and getting them and driving them that far. Well, in the long term, you're making content and that's great, but long term, you're not doing anything for the car. You're not helping it. If anything, you're hurting a lot of the original equipment. And yeah, some of these cars, that they're doing these videos with, it probably wouldn't matter if it had the original motor or anything in it, because a lot of them don't. But this one's still all original numbers matching car. So I would hate to blow up the original 68 396 because you wanted to drive it home and the radiator went out, or the water pump, or the thermostat stuck. There's a million little things. And so if somebody wants to drive it an hour down the road, yeah, that's fine. I would go there. But I just want to get it where somebody can drive it down the road, make sure the transmission goes into gear, and it shifts out good and stops. But because I've had a lot of people interested in the car, but could I drive it home? Could I drive it? Well, would you really want to drive it home? I get it. You bought a car and you want to enjoy it, but with that comes a little bit of gratification of working on it and fixing whatever the little problems are to drive it. But the other reason is my best friend has not made a lot of headway with his 56. It does run and drive now, but it still needs things like headlights, tail lights, glass, kind of like everything. But fuel lines, fuel tank, and he's got to go out of town at the end of this month, and he'll be gone for a week. So unless I get out there and do all that work, I just don't foresee him getting ready or getting that car ready for Lineville. So it's just easier for me to get this car up and running. And as far as running and driving and stopping in Lineville is about an hour and some change from here. And that'd be a good little test for the car. And we got plenty of time. And I was going to take it there anyhow, but I decided to take my Firebird. And so, with that being said, he can pile up his whole family in this car. And they can experience all the goodness of a 1968 Caprice wagon. And I'm glad it's them and not me. But, hey, family that drives a 68 Caprice wagon, I guess, I don't know, it don't really rhyme with anything. I was just going to say stay together, but I don't know. It don't really rhyme with that. And a lot of people have asked about the tape. Okay. The original owner put that tape on there because the car set in the sun, as you can tell from the gaskets all around the windows. and it was leaking in water in the car. Well, it's not all rusted out. There is rust there, but I have all the original trim, but he took the trim off because water was getting in there, and he put that tape on there. Under the tape is not, it's got some rust, but I mean, it's not all rotted out or anything. But just want to clarify, because I don't think I've said that in videos before, but it does have rust there, but it's not all rotted out. I mean, it's just, that tape it looks worse than if it was off. But if I take it off, I'm going to have, a new windshield, because I'm pretty sure it's got a crack in it. Maybe it doesn't, but it is still an old windshield. It does not have a crack in it. So that probably just needs to come out. But when it does come out, all the rust repair needs to be done at the time. And once again, I am not going to do or restore this car. So that's why it's for sale. So anybody that's interested in it, yeah, you can take the tape off of it, and I'll put new tape on if you don't buy it. But yeah, that is why that tape is there, is just to keep water from getting in there, because you can basically push that windshield out, because it's set in the sun, direct sun, and just melted the rubber out. And I was going to make a short video on this, but it's kind of become a little long-winded one. But needless to say, it will be at the car show in Lineville this year. So if anybody wants to see it there, it'll be there. I got to find a name for it. It needs a name, so y'all come up with it. And I know Rusty's one of them, but gotta come up with something good. If y'all especially like this car or any of these videos, like and subscribe. But like I said, Clay County Car Show, it's coming up, and a lot of people's going. For around here, it's one of the best ones we have, short of going to Moultrie. But yeah, just a little update on this car. She is getting new brake lines. So if she was stopped, I'm not putting shoes on it. I'm not doing a full brake job on it. And I know there's going to be a lot of people, oh, why are you already there doing all that? But I didn't say he is my best friend, but I didn't say how much I liked him. I mean, I'm not getting good brakes for him. I'm just getting where he can stop. Of course, that's a joke, but yeah, once again, hey, y'all be safe out there, and I'll keep making these videos. Y'all have a good one.